Hello, lovelies. It's Dee here from Golden Thread Tarot. How are you doing today? I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance. Okay, and as you can tell by the title of the reading, this is going to be a channeled message about a past life energy here. I was doing some readings earlier, and I had to stop because I had somebody coming to my house to work on something at my house, and so I had to stop. But I could tell that Spirit wanted to have a talk about this. The Spirit wanted to do some kind of past life reading here, so we're gonna get into it. I got really drawn to go ahead and make some cards here about some details about what this energy might be experiencing. Obviously, it's having some kind of throat chakra energy because as soon as I tapped into this, so this could be something that is affecting your ability to speak, affecting your ability to come forward and really trust and allow yourself to really see the truth of a particular situation. It might give you a lot of issues with feelings of lack or feelings of abandonment or feelings of just feeling like you're not enough, seeking what you lack. So we're going to get into it. In this past life, you might have lived by the sea. You could have been a person of medium to high standings. You could have had a highest standing in this society. You could have been some kind of guide or spiritual leader as well. I'm hearing Nordic descent, so I just heard that. So let that apply as it does for you. Yeah, I definitely feel like there was some kind of judgment energy that happened, okay, here, where you and your family might have felt really judged based on some kind of change in your circumstances. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. So it might have been a situation where you were on top or you were in power, and then by a sudden shift of fate, you lost favor in your community or lost favor, and you might have received some kind of judgment energy from your community or from the people that you served. Okay, so this could be something, yeah, you could have been wandering, kind of, I'm getting this kind of like wandering through the desert, coming in kind of energy. So let's get into it. King of Swords. Yeah, death energy. So there was a big shift, a big tower moment, a big shift in your life that caused this to happen. So let's get into, what is this past life energy that you want to get into, Spirit? What is this past life energy? There, I saw it. Okay. Medieval, Middle Ages, Dark Ages. Okay. So that's the time period. Okay. I was persecuted for my beliefs. Okay. Toxic romantic relationship. So you were in a toxic romantic relationship of some kind. Okay. I refuse to wake up to the truth. So somebody here was holding out. Somebody here refused to wake up to the truth since that came out in a toxic relationship. I feel like you were in a toxic relationship in the past, but you refused to acknowledge the karmic cycle that you and this past life lover or you and this person were in together, okay? As well as being persecuted for your beliefs, or for your belief system. I gave up for myself. I gave up on myself is really standing out too. So there was this sense of like guilt or this sense of shame around giving up on yourself or giving up on what you really believed in. Okay. And I gave up on myself showed up again. Okay. I didn't have time for me. So you felt like you got completely, okay. So I'm really feeling like here you came from a very masculine or patriarchy society, Okay. I felt like you felt silenced. I felt like your voice felt silenced. You felt like you couldn't be who you really wanted to be. I felt like you got arranged or you got trapped in a very toxic romantic relationship. Okay. Or you had a lot of issues around toxic romantic relationships, around the karmic relationships that you had in your life. And at some point you might have spoke out against that, okay, and you were persecuted for these beliefs. I really feel like my people slash my community betrayed me is really standing out to me. Spirit saying 3 or 4 more from these cards. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So race or ethnicity played a big major role in this, okay, as well. And unfinished business. So you definitely felt like there was a lot of unfinished business. There might have even been a part of your shadow self in this lifetime that really wanted revenge and felt like you had this unfinished business. You might be holding on to these suddenly feeling very persecuted, and feeling, I think there was a thing going on here with your race being persecuted, being betrayed, or your ethnicity, your culture. It's giving me kind of like warring factions or warring tribes kind of energy as well. You also might have, dealt with some kind of indentured servitude is what we'll say, because I think the S word might be a no-go word, okay? But you guys, what is it that what they called them in Thor Ragnarok? The prisoners with jobs, okay? Prisoners with jobs. So 2 more, if you would, please. Contemporary modern. With that, I'm getting a mindset. Like you might have had a much more contemporary mindset than the people that you were around at the time. You might have had a mindset of a little bit closer to how we view race or how we view sexuality or gender roles. I'm getting a big energy around gender roles as well. Fire. Okay, so you might have come under fire for this. Also, I wrote this. There's a couple of these in here that are just this, where it could have possibly been a way that you might have lost your life. Okay. So it's possible that you could have passed over due to a fire or due to being burned. Okay. Lost my husband / wife. Okay, Spirit is giving me a really strong energy here of possibly you being captured and stolen, your family passing over, or you losing your family, okay? And then you being remarried or resold off to someone else, someone that you might have ended up in a relationship with. And I think this gave you a very kind of like, this isn't right. It's given me a kind of energy of going from one society. It's kind of giving me an energy of like culture shock, where you went from one society where you were possibly at a higher rank in your society, where where your ethnicity didn't play such a major role in your value, or your value as a person, your ability to speak up, your ability to have a voice, your ability to voice yourself and how you were seen. It's given me a very big, like, black and white. So it's kind of like, on one hand, you were raised in a culture where you, around like people that looked like you, that talked like you, in a familiar culture to you, okay? And you were a member, maybe even a member of high society, maybe even a member, because a lot of like kings and queens energy were coming out, so maybe even something like that, or like I said, some kind of religious leader, some kind of version of kind of like a tribal counselor, possibly even something like that, if that kind of makes sense, that kind of era, or just like a well-to-do person. And it feels like some kind of invasion happened, or some kind of attack happened, okay? And you were forced into a different culture, especially around your race or your ethnicity. People that were seen as like, oh, you're automatically beneath other people that are around you. So it was a big energy shift of feeling like at one point you had a voice. At one point, people would listen to you. Your advice was taken. And then suddenly it was, be quiet, shut up. You don't have a voice. You don't have a space here. You're not even a person. You're kind of just like a decoration to be stood there. You are to be seen, but not spoken, and barely even seen kind of energy. And I really felt like this experience is coming back up now because you felt so persecuted for your beliefs of how you were raised in one kind of way to believe that, and it's a much more contemporary, I feel like, version of what we would consider a contemporary mindset, as in the form of, not, that you deserve to have a voice, you know you deserve to have a voice no matter your race, no matter your ethnicity, no matter your gender, which that obviously isn't perfect in this society, but it's definitely you're a lot more able now than you were then. Hangman, and the Hangman in reverse, and the Moon. So this past version of yourself is coming up to say that it is time for you to see past the illusion that you cannot speak, the illusion that you cannot feel, the illusion that you are to be seen, or not, maybe in some of your cases not even seen, like you're just supposed to stand there and kind of be there at someone else's beck and call, that you are only to serve others and to not serve yourself, that you're not allowed to have an agenda or have a mindset or have like power. It's like taking you out of your seat of power and teaching you that it doesn't, this doesn't matter. Yes, exactly. There was a lot of travel. You were completely removed, I feel like, from your homeland, and as well. Yeah, this is the Knight of Wands. There's an element here also. I know this might sound weird, but I'm getting an element here of deforestation. So an outside force, maybe perhaps that you owed taxes to, or that, that it's like coming in, tearing down sacred lands, tearing down sacred spaces. And I also feel like there's an energy here of you. It's like you narrowly escaping. Okay, this kind of energy right here. You narrowly escaping from that as well. What happened? They're showing me a night of an escape. You also escaped from this. You escaped from this and went through a major transformation. So it's like you were taken, had a major culture shock, dealt with a lot of energy in your life where the wheel was turned, was taken out from underneath you, your power was taken, your voice was taken, and then it was returned to you and the wheel came back, and those who took your power were under the wheel, and then you were back on top of the wheel. You had a narrow escape because somebody who was supposed to be watching over you, or it's almost like, it's literally like the noose is around and then something happens, like a major event happens that stops the energy that was happening, and it saves your life. And it saves your life, and it seems almost like this divine intervention, like maybe almost as if like the culture that you were in could have gotten suddenly invaded or suddenly attacked, and it stopped this energy here. And it's almost like, okay, you were this, and then so it's like you were living peacefully in an area, a culture came in, took over that area, and turned you into prisoners with jobs, took away your voice, took away your society, broke everything down, had you feeling completely laid out. And then when you thought all was lost, the wheel turns again, and it's like what they did, like with that wheel of fortune, what you did comes back around, and another people came in and overthrew those people. And in the process of this, you learned a lot about these toxic relationships, toxic ownership relationships is what I felt like you dealt with. A very toxic owner is the word that I want to call it, which I feel kind of icky talking about this. But it's this energy of this unfinished business coming back around. Yeah, and you losing. It's kind of like laying in wait. It's like laying in wait, and I think that's what this fire is a society burning down again and again. So it's kind of this energy of maybe even being like native coming in, yeah, being one, or very pagan energy, being one with the forest, being one with animals and spirits and that, and then another culture coming in being like, no, you're savages, throw all that away, we'll do all of that, take away all your freedoms, everything like that, marry off your people. I feel like you could have been um a very attractive person, okay? Even though you were seen as less than, you were a very attractive person. You had this very kind of formidable energy to you, and it attracted someone being like, oh no, don't get rid of that one, I'll take that one. And kind of, okay, and giving you this energy of, you feel so complicated. This past version of yourself feels so complicated because they're like, I hate this person, but also I learned a lot about them. They could have been like a general or a leader in an army, because they taught you about like kind of like the art of war kind of energy. It could have just been because you stood there in rooms where people were talking about tactical things. But this person taught you, oh, they didn't want you to speak. They wanted you to be able to speak to them. So they taught you their language. They might have even taught you some reading and writing, at least enough to like get things done or sign their stationery or do things like that. Where it's like, oh, well, I'll need you to be able to sign that you picked up this document for me or something like that kind of energy. So it's like, I learned from you. I'm lying in wait. I'm waiting to get this back. Then another society comes in, takes over, breaks everything down, burns everything down. And that's when this person that you have hated, right? Because of course, like I didn't forget. I didn't forget that you took my family from me. I didn't forget that you forced me to be in a physical relationship with you. I didn't forget that you did all of these things. And it's this complicated relationship because I feel like towards the end, they did something that saved your life. They did something that saved you. And it got you out of whatever this second go around of this blow up of this energy. I even feel like that person might have lost their life. Like, I don't want to call it saving you, but I feel like it's like they could have been like, oh, and all by the way, you know, behind that door is my servant. Go kill them too, but they didn't. And you narrowly, it's like this narrowly missing this. Yeah, sneaking away. It's this sneaking away energy, being very guided. You know, oh, hide here, stay silent, don't move yet, wait till then, wait till now, to leave. Very, very, very spiritually guided throughout this energy. Maybe even the energy of your passed over husband or wife coming back. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, it's gonna make me cry. With them coming back to save you. Because they're like, you know, I'll lead you to safety. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting into why this is coming back up in this life. There are a lot of things that you held on to from this. A lot of things that you held on to. Feeling silenced. Feeling like my power was taken away from me. And it created a lot of anger inside of your being. Justified anger, but a lot of anger from being trapped. Excuse me. And being forced into labor. Being forced into, you know, making money for your captor or, you know, something like that. And you've held a lot of this energy in your energetic body. And it's coming up for release now. It's coming up for release now. It's like, hey, it's time to let go of this now. Tell me more about this. I refuse to wake up to the truth. I'm hearing abandonment too. There's that judgment card again. Yeah. Also feeling a very heavy burden around trusting religious figures in some kind of way here. All right. You could have had somebody come. There could be a particular religion that these people that took over, you know, like I said, they came in with this whole "you're savages. Let's, you know, let me introduce you to my religion. Let me introduce you to my spirituality. Throw away everything that you had." And it gave you this very heavy burden that you carried around authority, around not trusting authority, around not trusting, maybe even particular religions, or not trusting particular figures, not trusting the patriarchy, not trusting society. Especially around a particular religious figure. It inspires some kind of toxic relationship. around who you marry, who you bind yourself to, who you commit yourself to. You could have this very fiercely independent part of yourself that's like, I'll never I'll never give up my power to another person, or I'll never give up my, ooh, you were betrayed. You were betrayed. So it's this fear of trusting someone here. There's so many stories. There's so many stories, yeah. Can you give me the most general, please, Spirit? I know that there's a lot of people here. I just see so many. It's just like all these branching details of different people here. Some of you were betrayed by a loved one, or betrayed by a family, betrayed by someone, and it's like a hiding place of yours. Possibly even a particular religious figure could have been like, I'll hide you, I'll protect you, and they ended up selling you and they're selling you to people. For some of you, it was a spouse. For some of you, you lost your spouse. You lost your spouse in trusting this particular figure. So it gives, yeah. Woo. Yeah, see how this is kind of like the shadowy person here? Here with the swords. And here you and your spouse are. Okay? And it's this kind of, it's kind of like wolf in sheep's clothing, or like devil in disguise kind of energy here. Oh, this is so complicated. Y'all, humans are complicated. Because Spirit is also telling me this, the person that betrayed you, they're also telling me their side of the story, which was, you know, it came down to saving themselves, saving their family, so they outed you kind of energy. They outed you, they betrayed you, they turned their back on you, they caused this tower moment to happen. They might have even delivered this message like, hey, these people, they're in my basement, or hey, these people are here or there. You know, there's a big energy here of like conversion, of like people converting over to specific religions, and then, you know, feeling like you can trust certain people, and then having people snitch you out to, you know, be like, oh, there's a bunch of pagans over here, or there's something like that, you know, kind of energy like, oh, they're having a meeting here, and it's like, oh, you know, all we want to do is save them, all we want to do is bring them, you know, is bring them around. It's like, you promise you won't hurt them. Yeah, no, we won't hurt them. And then there's this judgment energy here with this fire energy here, where you could have even lost a loved one or lost a family member, lost people in your family during this kind of judgment energy here. And then afterwards, you were also sold into servitude. And it's kind of this energy of your life being spared over and over again. Yeah. And it's so many layers of mistrust. Mistrusting people that you thought had your back. Not trust, you know, mistrusting spouses or family members or people in your community, right? And then also having fear, having this fear of loss. Fear. Right? Having this fear that you'll lose people that mean so much to you, for sticking, you know, for being persecuted to you for your beliefs. Vow of silence. Throat chakra clearing. So it's this energy of feeling like you were silenced, and feeling feeling like it's also giving me an energy here of like, at the end of the day, you might have not even been able to really tell your story, because you might have escaped a way out of this. But if you had told people who you really are or how you really believed, so it's giving me a big energy of having to sneak, having to lie, finally making your way out of this, feeling like I stood by my beliefs. I said, no, this is my spirituality, or this is my religion that I believe in, or it's this, I stand by that, I will fight for that, being, and because of that, feeling like, I lost my family, I lost my loved ones, I lost my community, I lost my voice, I lost who I was, and I even lost my freedom for a long time, finding my way back out of that bondage, but in some type of way being like, okay, we got you out, but you can't be who you were before. So you can't carry on your family name. You can't carry on your culture. You can't carry on your beliefs. If you want to live and continue to live and continue to go on, you have to become silent about the truth and about the atrocities that you went through to help protect yourself and maybe even your, future loved ones. Maybe you remarried and had more children or things, and it's like, I have to stay silent about the truths of my past, otherwise, I could deal with the same issue again. And it's like, and like I said in the very, very beginning of this, with this throat chakra energy here, it's feeling like I will take this vow, it goes to my grave, I'm not going to speak on this, I'm not going to talk about this, I'm not, I will. It's kind of this energy of, I'll swallow this, I'll eat this, I'll hold on to this, I'll hold it in my body, I'll hold it inside, to not only protect my own life, but protect the lives of my future generations or people that come after me. Or, at some point you were able to be out of this servitude. You were able to be free, but you never felt free because you couldn't even express who you really were. Maybe even the person that you married again, or the community that you put yourself in, you could not claim these beliefs that you had before. You had to say, oh, no, 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 and this is just an example, so don't get triggered and start typing. This is just an example, but it's like people being like, can you believe the pagans? And you're like, oh no, can't believe them, I love Christ, kind of energy, like, nope, it's Jesus for me, while knowing deep inside that your beliefs really still were what they were. But knowing, if I spoke up for who I truly was, I could deal with this again. I could be persecuted again. I could be silenced again. And it's this kind of feeling that it's like, maybe you were young and you were to be this person. You were to be this person who was in training. Yeah, guilt. You felt so much guilt for saying before, no, I stand on my beliefs. And you saw your friends and your family and the people around you pay the price for that. And it really made you say, I won't do that again. I'll turn my back on those beliefs if it means, is it really worth it to watch everyone around me, including myself, be so hurt by this? I'll just shut up. I just won't claim it. I just won't be it. I just won't practice it, And you had this massive amount of guilt for this and fear. You lived in fear for the rest of your life that someone would discover who you truly were, right? You lived in fear to practice what you truly believed. You lived in fear to continue on your traditions, from your culture, from your people. And you said, no, I'll just let them die. What good is the culture when standing by that culture means that you lose your life? um, shouldn't we, this is kind of like your thought process was, shouldn't we just let the culture die and let us live? And you had a lot of guilt over that. You suffered from a lot of guilt and a lot of fear in your life because of that. Because you knew that really in general, you might have even been supposed to be a spiritual leader in your community. You might have been supposed to become, like I said, you might have been supposed to become this king or this queen or this spiritual leader in your community. And then this tragedy struck, and it's almost like that destiny was taken away from you. I'm seeing someone as a child sitting in the lap of a father, and their father is like kneeling down beside them, and they're like, one day you will lead our people, one day you will give the voice of the gods or the voice of our ancestors to our people. That is your destiny, that is your fate, that is what is going to happen, that's who you will become. Then this invasion happened, this happened, everything about who you were was stripped away and replaced with guilt and fear and shame. Because it's like, hey, I got to do what I got to do. It's like, no, I stood by it for the longest time. No, I stood by this. Maybe even some fear of like, why would my gods, or why would my people, why would they allow that to happen to my people? So that might have even happened. Not for some of you, right? Sorry about that. And feeling so removed from your people, and feeling it's this feeling of, I was supposed to have this purpose that I feel like was taken away from me. And Spirit is saying, this voice that you feel like was silenced it's coming back around now. It's coming back around now. Now in a time when, although now we do, and of course I'm not saying that, of course I'm not saying that things like this still don't happen, unfortunately, in different ways, right? That there are places in the world that still suffer from things like this, right? That I'm not saying that, there are not still things that we suffer. There are not still ways that we are silenced, just in a different way, right? But it is kind of this sense of now, now, something in the past, this YouTube channel, me, being a woman sitting here talking, having a voice, speaking my truth, reading tarot cards, being a spiritualist, being openly like a witch, that would have had me, it could not have been as accepted in some periods of the, I have, I would have lost my life for it, right? Very quickly. So there are things that we have the privilege to experience now, right? And I feel like this part of you is coming up now to say, you don't have to silence yourself like you had to in the past. You don't have to have this jealousy. You don't have to have this fear. You don't have to have this shame. You don't have to have this guilt, This could have had something to do with Greek and Roman energy. I was kind of getting that a little bit with this. It was kind of reminding me of like an imperial soldier kind of energy. I'm just going to be honest. I was kind of getting that. So, I mean, water here energy could have also been taken across a body of water and very removed from your homeland, very removed from, sacred spaces, sacred things in your life. Yeah, you felt very betrayed by your own community, by your own people. And yes, you might have lost your children in this energy as well. In this energy, in this time as well. I took a vow of celibacy. I never realized my potential. They never saw my worth. Yeah, so it's like this energy of it was taken away from me. You know, it was taken away from you. For some of you, this might have happened during like the Middle or Dark Ages. For some of you, it might have happened in ancient culture like Egypt, or it might have happened in Greek and Roman as well. I'm gonna be honest, I'm feeling more Greek and Roman, like invaders kind of energy with that there. Yeah, so it's like this energy of I had all of this. It's like this fall from grace of this. I had all of, yeah, war. It broke, it happened. And it's this energy of, there is also this energy of here feeling like you narrowly miss death time after time after time in your life as well. And you went through this long period of being captured, of being forced into servitude, of being, not being allowed to be who you truly were, and even still feeling after you obtained freedom that it wasn't true freedom. And I never realized my potential. I never realized, that destiny that I felt like I was born into. Because I was silenced because of the trauma of what I went through, right? Spirit wants to pull 2 of these cards. Okay. The Knight of Swords. You might find yourself, you might find yourself in a position of power, in a position of leadership. You might even find yourself in a position to speak on, power, to speak on leadership. And that's so funny too, because it's like the eagle, right? It was on the crest of the Roman soldiers. I'm not saying the right words anyway, but I know the eagle was a big sign there. So that too definitely could be a confirmation of that energy if any of you were definitely feeling that. Okay, this kind of emperor energy here. You might have even been married. Like I said earlier, you could have been married to an emperor, a Roman, a general. You could have been married off to a person of power, like I said. And it's like, oh, I'll teach you our ways. I'll teach you what it's like, sharpening your skills. It's giving me, okay. So if you guys are a fan of Game of Thrones, it's giving me very Tywin Lannister and Arya Stark kind of energy. Okay. It's giving me Arya sitting there listening as she's a servant, just sitting there, pouring the water and pouring the wine. She's getting that information. She's getting those tactical ways about them. Okay, because you were destined to sit on this kind of throne energy, to sit in this position of power, right? And I definitely feel like you are definitely being called back to this position of power now. Intuitively you feel it. Kind of from beyond the veil, or behind the veil, this past version of yourself is saying, live in that power now. Don't allow what we went through in the past to make you feel like you have to. Don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid of being persecuted for who you really are. Stand up and speak your voice. And even some of you are really destined here to be on a stage, to have to kind of be seen by a lot of people. Okay, to be seen by a lot of people and have a lot of influence over people, and whether that be on a world, like through the internet, some kind of influence or a platform that you might have. Okay, whether or not you might write some kind of book or create some kind of program or do something along those lines. It's kind of like you have a voice and you have things that could really change and build and grow in your community, and that kind of energy is coming back around for you in this lifetime. Ooh, look at that. Empress. Like I said, you are meant to be sitting on that position of power because this is your justice. It was taken from you. It was taken from you in the past, and that's why it's coming back around. Be mindful of the seeds that you are planting, okay? Stop keeping yourself at a distance from your true happiness, okay? Allow this healing to come in with this energy here, right? And this is definitely here, past life generational, kind of mindsets, toxic mindsets that were passed down for you. Yeah, through all these tower moments in your life. I feel, how we have tower moments in our life, like in our present day life. I feel like we have tower moments in lives. If, obviously this is a past life reading, so you obviously are participating and believing in past lives if you're here. If not, whatever, maybe you're just staying open, and I appreciate that, right? But we have tower moments in our past that are so significant. They leave kind of like a soul scar, or they leave like a huge, they leave over this karma that will come up and pop up in your next life, generations after generation. So it's not just about breaking these generational toxic mindsets and breaking this generational trauma from this own family line that you are, your genetic family line that you're born into now, but also breaking past life karma as well, past life trauma as well, from the things that you have gone through, because this was so significant and it changed your life so significantly that it left this kind of like echo in your mental thought process that really, whatever something that you have gone through in this lifetime is really bringing back up to the surface for you to not only heal it in this life, but to also heal this past life trauma as well. Yeah. Hermit. So you are supposed to be this kind of wise person, letting people know about going on a deep journey inside. Okay. Let's get some messages from your higher self, okay? Since your higher self has the ability to tap in to all these past lives that you have lived, right? Let's get some advice from your higher self on this particular situation. So what does this collective need to know, please? I'm hearing journey to the center of yourself. Okay. Stay grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connects with nature. So they're telling you to do things that help you to stay grounded. Okay. Especially if you're going to be doing this past life kind of travel energy. Being grounded is so significant in that, and being able to really reach into that. Pillar of light, your vibration is raising. You are the oracle. So you are receiving these messages, this kind of pillar of light energy here from the past. If you want to receive more and tap in more into this energies, get grounded and see that you have the abilities that you need to tap into this. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah, even more of that energy of turning inward. Also tapping into your inner priestess as well. Tapping into your inner priestess, tapping into that inner temple, being one with your body, mind, body, and soul kind of energy. Learning to not dim. Don't dim yourself to fit in, right? Don't be scared to shine that light bright. And also don't be scared of these tower moments in your life that come up, okay? To help pave the way for higher vibration, Share your voice, okay? Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Okay? Come out of the cave. Look, and there's the pyramid in the background. Reinforcing that kind of Egyptian lineage, if you believe in that, okay? Or not if you believe in that, but if that resonates for you, share yourself. Share this voice, right? Because right now you're in the dark. You see how dark the color scheme and kind of gray? Come out, right? Share your voice. Because you have such a rich plethora of energy, of sacred energy, sacred ancestral energy to tap into. So it was your destiny to tap into this energy. Just like I said, how you had that exchange with your ancient father, right? To say it is your destiny to tap into our ancestors, to continue this lineage, to continue this gift that we give to the world. And now here it's come up again. So Spirit is saying, don't be afraid to tap into your ancestry. Don't be afraid to tap into your lineage. You might even actually be some kind of actual genetic descendant of this person in this lifetime. Yes, I just got a really big yes. So you might even, it might kind of be this kind of trippy moment where you are being reincarnated in your own descendant history, like to literally pop up in your genetics again, to be like, no, I was supposed to be this priestess, I was supposed to be this person continuing on this energy, and I'm going to re-manifest myself later on down into the line. You know, it's like, oh, I manifested in this time when this was not going to be appreciated, when I could not fulfill this, right? Now I'm going to remanifest myself into a later time period and more contemporary time now, where maybe I will be able to share this voice where I was silenced before. Deep replenishment. Absolutely. So it is this deep replenishment energy here, where it was, I was silenced before, but I won't be silenced again, right? You know, my ancestors were silenced before, but we won't be silenced again. Or we won't be silenced this time. I'll say that, yeah. Star Mother here, okay? Mothering yourself. So get into that self-nourishment energy, okay? Where you're taking care of yourself, where you're taking care of your temple, your body, okay? Where you're staying grounded, where you are seeing that you hold this ancestral power within you, and you can do it. You know, so share your voice, come out of the cave, stop hiding, because this energy that happened in the past is not going to repeat itself. Yeah, I didn't even point out the pyramid that's in the background back here as well. Starseed, I was really getting that too, a very cosmic kind of starseed energy here. Spirit saying 3 more. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, don't be scared who you were destined to be, is what Spirit is saying. Don't be scared to allow yourself to be who you were destined to be. You're getting a lot of protection as well. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Yeah. And again, here with the Sphinx in the background as well. Yeah. Seeing this is all part of the divine plan. Yeah. Divine orchestration. You know, the helpers in the other realm. You're getting so helped and so protected and so guided by your ancestors. particularly even maybe like a grandmother figure, okay? And with that starseed coming out, starseed again, that's a confirmation directly. And the seeding the light, I'm getting that very much so, like that big like starseed energy as well, like coming out and seeding the light in a you know, delivering messages that perhaps you weren't able to deliver in the past. Perhaps because, you know, it's like, wow, the timing of this really just didn't work out. I mean, I'm feeling like somebody got triggered by me saying that. I feel like somebody was like, oh, the timing just didn't work out. Me and my whole family being slaughtered. The timing just didn't work out. I know the divine plan is a very big, you know, it's like, oh, because there's a lot of people in our community. And I just have to say that there's a lot of people here that want to, or, you know, maybe here, but just in general, that want to say, oh my gosh, divine plan when good things happen, and want to say, oh, it was just the devil when bad things happen, when it can all be a part of the divine plan. As triggering as that might feel, it's all happening for a purpose. Okay. Oh, honey, we're not doing all this. Which one of these? Yes. Yes. Okay. What was this that came out? Okay. Pleiades, okay? Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So you definitely could also, I'm definitely feeling like a lot of you could have this kind of double whammy of like kind of starseed and then like your human genetic ancestry kind of shoop, like crossing to create like this X marks the spot kind of energy where you're seeding this light energy here, right? With this double mission where you're channeling from the other realms to uplift humanity. So you for sure could have been born into this life with Pleiadian descent, okay? Or been a Pleiadian starseed. So look into that if you're interested in that. And then it was kind of like, you know, that's kind of like your star ancestors being like, oh, I guess they weren't ready. Um, you know, I guess they weren't ready. Your light was kind of snuffed out because of the circumstances, because of human choices. You know, it was a choice, you know, to decide to invade. It was a choice to go to war. It was a choice, which humans have free will. So the divine can't control all acts that happen, you know, but the divine plan continues to work out in mysterious ways around us, okay? So Spirit is saying, we know this has been a lot of really heavy-ish that you've been dealing with. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Please do something to lighten up your energy. Please do something to bring about a more lighthearted energy, you know? Spirit says they know that everything that you deal with is not the easiest thing to deal with, but please do this to bring in this more lighthearted um, energy to you, okay? Because you are really meant here and you were sent here like everyone, but you have a very big divine purpose with sharing your light, channeling, um, channeling and you are really working out the karma and the trauma. I really want to say it's not karma, it's trauma. It's straight up trauma from this past life where you were supposed to be this kind of oracle energy here and your light was taken away, right? Your light was taken away. And so now Spirit is saying, okay, here is this energy that's coming back around exactly in this initiation energy of, we know that you're still in the cave, that you're still in this, but walk out of this, right? Follow the path to this gateway, to this opening of a lot lighter hearted energy here. Yeah. And it really starts a lot with working on, you know, your inner child, working on mothering yourself. It's this feeling of, yeah, untapped potential. Ooh, speak to these people, spirit. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It is happening for you, not to you. It is happening for you to grow and to understand, for you to appreciate having a time of being able to speak so freely, being able to have this voice. Perhaps maybe in the past you needed to experience what it was like to really have your voice silenced, and then have the strength of conviction to say, I don't care if you want me to be silenced. I'll make a different choice this time. I'm not going to let the karma or the trauma or the things that I've been through convince me to silence my voice this time. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. And you have so much help. Like, you have a whole gang of energy and spirit and star ancestors and genetic ancestors and beings that were one time have been born into humans, and now they're kind of elevating on the other side. It's this whole energy of like, yes, like be birthed again, be given this chance to cleanse this part and to purge this out. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew that you weren't being abandoned, that you were just being given another chance, what would you do? Right? You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. This is part of your destiny. 100%. This is 100% part of your destiny. To be this person. Whew, I got so overwhelmed there. So you might be feeling like you have been dealing with a storm. You also might have felt like you had ties to ancient Lemuria, okay, as well. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Like, it's happening. That's what you're already doing it. It's happening. It's happening. You're already doing it. This is beautiful. So you might be felt like you have been told no a lot. That this past energy here again with I know that this is like a reoccurring motif here, but the pyramid in the background again, with this energy of being told no, of being told silence yourself, of creating all this karmic storm energy that you've had to overcome, right? So you are being unbound. You are being transformed. You are going through this energy now so that you can share that voice that was taken away from you. All right. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me today. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you guys really enjoyed this video. I love doing past life readings like this with you guys. Let me know if you enjoy this, or if you're interested in getting a personal past life reading. Let me know that. My contact information is in the description box down below. Send me an email and we'll go from there. Thank you guys so very much. Like I said, if you like this, give it a like. Okay, if you're not subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing and joining the tribe. All right. If you feel drawn to any of my other videos, please check those out. Also, down in the description box down below, you will find a link to donate or tip to the channel. Thank you to those who feel guided to do that, as well as the links to my online shop where you guys can purchase any of the decks that I have. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Okay, and I will see you lovelies in the next one. Bye.